You would think that after living in New Zealand for 14 years, we would know everything there is to know about living here. Nothing would take us by surprise anymore. But guess what? Some things still do. And we sit down and the lady offers us the menus, and then she said, just to let you know, there is a 15% surcharge tonight. And you know when you're like, oh no, you didn't tell me about this. I know it's an expensive, well, it's not cheap. In this episode, we're going to share with you 5 things that only ever happen in New Zealand. We've never seen them anywhere else in the world. And we're going to share with you exactly just what they are.
It's a Drama, coming to you from Taranaki, New Zealand.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him!
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we are back this week to share with you some really good stuff. Actually, we wanted to share with you, you're going to like this, things that we only have ever found in New Zealand.
Yes.
Yes.
You might have found
Only
them
in New Zealand things.
You might have found them somewhere else.
you
but,
won't.
Well,
No.
yeah, we've done a lot of travelling, Liz.
I know, that's what I'm saying,
You know.
because how we came about to do this podcast is we were talking the other day, we've got 5 things, 4 that we absolutely love about New Zealand that we've never seen anywhere else in the world, and 1 that we just wish New Zealand would just get rid of because we can't stand it. So we thought we'd share those with you.
Yeah.
It's exciting, isn't it,
Yeah,
Brian?
it is. Yeah,
Eh?
it
It's
is.
a proper podcast,
It's-
this. Now we've
it's
got our...
structured.
It is structured.
Yes.
I thought we'd turn
But it-
over a new leaf now you're 60.
Bit of New Zealand stuff, thanks.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Bit of New Zealand stuff.
Get old and sensible.
Yeah.
So how have you been? I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful week. Well, actually, probably 2 weeks since the last time we spoke to you face to face like this, just me and Bri.
Yep.
But yeah, we were just sitting there last week and we were like, you know what? That I've never seen that anywhere else in the world. And then we started making a list, and we were like, and I've never seen that, and I've never seen that. So we just said, let's go on the podcast and share it with you. So let's just jump straight on in, shall we, Brian?
Yes, let's
Are
jump
you all
straight
right? Are you awake?
No. I'm never awake, Liz.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, now I've turned 60, I need my rest.
Bry's birthday, hey? Bry's
Yeah.
birthday. Thank you all for your lovely birthday wishes that you sent to Bry on the podcast.
I'm still waiting for the gifts. You know,
well.
you know, I don't mind waiting a bit longer.
What we thought we would do, we've done an audio podcast. I know our regular, you when you like to listen to audio podcasts, we've done an audio podcast telling you all about Bry's birthday weekend. So I'll be releasing that in the next week or so. So look out for that one.
Yeah.
But right now, let's just jump in and go to number 1 of only in New Zealand. Really, honestly, we've been right around the world and we have never seen this anywhere else in New Zealand, right, Brian?
Yep.
Number 1 is the workers at the side of the road, how flipping friendly they are, Brian.
They are.
Dancing, waving. I'm not joking here.
No, it's true. I mean, the wave alone, and they're like, you know, and they're on the little walkie-talkies to the other person who's turning the, the stop and go signs and things like that. It's not so much the workers; it's the people who are doing the traffic duty.
Well, that is work.
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying they're not the people on the
Well,
diggers
not
and
there for the
things.
good of the health, are they? They're working, Brian.
The guy in the digger is normally. I don't
He's
know.
a miserable sod.
He's normally the laziest guy on the team, because it's like I've got my license for driving the tracks and digger, and they're just sitting there all day, never get the shovel out.
Do you know what, Bri, please? Do you know what? I have never been anywhere that when when you pull up at traffic lights and there's that person that's always there with the the lollipop.
Stop-go.
Yeah, the stop-go thing. And I'm not joking, every single person that I've seen at the side of the road in my 14 years, we didn't say who we are and what we're doing here.
Oh,
I'll tell you
hello.
about that in a minute.
I'm Brian, by the way. So's my wife.
What did you tell me? I'll come back to that in a minute. Or should we just do it now and you can put it in?
No.
Okay.
Just keep going.
So, yeah, every single person in the 14 years that since we moved from the UK 14 years ago, we're Liz and Brian, husband and wife, and we make YouTube videos about traveling the world, living in New Zealand, and we support and help people who are moving to New Zealand by giving them brilliant content like this.
That's it, for free.
So, yeah, all the time that we've been here, when you pull up at the traffic lights, and it's just, I've never once had a rude, moody person on the lollipop stick. Have you, Bri?
No, 'cause you smile at them, they'll smile back. As in most people do, if you smile, they'll smile back.
Yeah,
but
this is different.
In England, it was just like that.
No. Yeah, just, yeah.
And not only that, let's just get a traffic light instead.
Do you know what, as well? And I think it's a bit sad, really, because I knew you were going to say that. I knew
What?
I knew you were going to say that about England, about the, and this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, English and British people that are there working at the side of the road.
Yeah, cheer up.
Do you know what? I know you've got a hard job and it must be really boring and there's so many cards coming through and of course you're not going to be like, hello, hello, hello. But for some reason in New Zealand, they do. And I think you need to just take a little lesson from that,
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, is it the minimum wage that they get paid? Is it, I really, really don't know why, but it's like, why not be happy? In your job, why not? You're out there.
Are you happy in your job?
I certainly am happy in my job, Liz. The only other place I've ever seen it a little bit is Canada.
Yes, yes.
We were driving through. It was an unsealed road forever and ever, and it was almost like a joke because it was all of a sudden we came around a corner and it's this long straight road, and they're doing a little bit of work on the side of the road, and they've got a person with the stop go sign, and I'm like. You're like looking around, it's like there are no other cars. And not only that, they're now holding me there for like 30 seconds. And they're having a bit of a laugh and then they're waving it's like, okay, you can come, it's okay to come through now with a walkie-talkie And, you see them want the other person about, 200 metres down the road, turn their sign and there's no one there. They must have heard me coming. Like, right, quick, you need to put yourself on stop, It's like, they're both on stop and it's like, okay.
Do you know what? Two people I'm going to give a big shout out to. The guy, obviously I don't know who you are because I didn't wind down my window and say, who are you? But we were in Dunedin a year ago, last year, 18 months ago,
Yeah,
whatever.
it was about 18 months, yeah.
And we were driving from Dunedin City. There's a beautiful piece of coast road that goes out to, where were we? Port Chalmers. And they were doing lots of roadworks at the side of that road. And this guy, I'm not joking, it was like going to the theatre. He was stood at the side of the road with his lollipop stick, and he was doing this amazing dance, almost like he was pretending his lollipop
like
stick
a pole dancer.
was a pole dance, was like a woman or whatever, and he was like dancing, and he was just giving it all this, wasn't he? And he was just like the biggest smile on his face. Probably just found out that he got another job. He was moving on tomorrow.
That's it. It's my last day doing this. Dropped the lollipop stick and everyone went on.
No, sorry. That's my wicked sense of humour. But no, he just was so happy. And I just couldn't believe it.
I know, but it just makes that sitting in the traffic. I mean, people who live in New Zealand, they're in traffic for like 2 or 3 minutes. Or I know Auckland's a little bit different. It might be 5 minutes, No, I'm only joking. But
careful, Brian.
Steady.
Careful. Get our Aucklanders giving you some stick.
Yeah, it's not like the UK or America when you're stuck in traffic for an hour and a half and it's gridlocked. You do get times like that, but the majority of the time it's a 2-3 minute wait and you're through the lights and away you go.
It makes it so much nicer.
That's it.
I wonder if their bosses or has the New Zealand government said all people that work on the side of the road in New Zealand have to have a smile on their face and wave to the cars. Do you reckon they said that?
Yeah, but everyone waves back at them. I think that's the other thing. You can see all the people waving because they're just waving to all the people as they go through, as if
it's just so lovely. And one more shout out as well to the girl who we were, and just outside Hawera, we were driving down to Wellington last weekend. Again, in the middle of nowhere, piddling down with rain. The poor girl was just stood there dripping. She had this cap on, she had this sign, and we drove up and she just went.
It's almost like you're nice and dry in your car listening to your music or whatever it is with the heater on, and they're out there in the pouring rain.
It's horrible because I just wanted to go and say to her, do you want me to do a little bit of a shift for you? Do you want me to just get in with Brian? I'll just stand here for a bit.
Maybe you should do that, Liz. I could just film you doing it.
Oh, Brian, tell the story about the pies. One more thing.
That's what I love about New Zealand people. Sometimes people, they know these road workers are going to be there and they're all smiling and waving, and people will come back around sometimes, go to the pie shop, get them a bunch of pies and take them out to them.
Imagine that.
How nice is that?
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And when I saw that girl the other day and it was pouring down with rain, that's what I said to you, wasn't it? I said, I wish I had a hot chocolate now and a donut, and just
You
go...
did, but you didn't give her yours, did you?
Shut up. And just go, here you go, because, so that was that. It was
a bit of Kiwi kindness.
Yeah.
That's what people do, That's so nice.
It makes all the difference. If you're watching this and you are working at the side of the road, then flipping it, we appreciate you. We think you're fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do. You make traffic seem a lot happier.
Yeah, especially if you're at the front of the queue, it's even
Yeah.
better, isn't it? Like, or 2 or 3 back.
So
or whatever
remember,
it is.
if you are from a different part of the world other than New Zealand, and I know we've got lots and lots of people that are from the other side of the world, all around the world, let us know if any of these things we're saying, you're thinking, no, they do that in my country. No. Let us know in the comments, because that's the other thing as well. We just always love
because
reading all the comments.
there's times when you can't have those those traffic lights and stuff like that, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
So it might be different elsewhere in the world, but here, they're always clearing the hedges because they grow so quick.
Now, number 2 thing that we have only ever found in New Zealand, and I've got a feeling that some of you are going to say, no, Liz, don't be stupid. We've got that here. But I have never seen it anywhere else. I lived in England for 38
years.
I've lived in England for 38 years, and I never smelt this. I never saw this, and I've only ever seen it in New Zealand. I love it. It is the most beautiful thing to brighten a winter's day in your home and garden, and that is this. This is called Daphne, and just smell that.
It's just gorgeous, isn't it? It's like
I wish
hints
you
of
could have
lemon and everything
smell-o-vision,
in there, isn't it?
because when I moved to New Zealand, I was taking the kids, walking down the road with the kids, walking down this, like down in the village. All of a sudden, I was like, what's that smell? What's that? Someone just sprayed perfume. And I was looking around, and there was this Daphne bush. And I thought, it can't be that, because those flowers are so small. I am not joking. The smell of this plant is like something out of a Coco Chanel advert. It's just the most beautiful, feminine, beautiful, lovely, citrusy, flowery, gorgeous smell that you will ever smell in your life. I love smells. I love perfume, and I love smells. And you
feminine.
can cut. No, it's very feminine, but no, because I just think it's not a masculine smell. Like we'll talk in a minute about masculine smells, but
Right.
maybe I'm going to draw. I don't know, but I think it's a very feminine smell, and that's not to say men can't like it.
No, yeah.
Are you trying to Are you trying to catch me out?
I'm very in touch with my feminine side.
No,
Hey, Liz,
yes,
let me
you
have a
are,
smell of that.
Shut up. Shut up, Brian. Because what I'm saying is it only ever comes out in winter. And so when the winter months come, when we moved into this house, and I knew about this now, we made sure to plant 3 big Daphne plants around the house.
Yeah.
One under Sully's bedroom window, one outside the kitchen window, and one outside just the side doors there. And you can pick, I've picked a lot to show you, but you can pick the smallest little that, and it makes the entire room just fill with this smell.
It's gorgeous.
It is.
Like I said, I've not really smelt it. It must be
because you're not
somewhere else in
feminine.
the world. I don't know where it's in, sort of a native of. I don't really know.
I don't know either, and I keep forgetting to ask my Kiwi friends.
Yeah, well, we could just look online.
Oh no, that would be far too easy for us, Brian.
Wikipedia
That would make
it,
us
eh?
look intelligent. So yeah, Daphne, absolutely. You will smell it when you come to New Zealand in the winter months. It's right out now. It's in the bloom now, and you will just think, oh, there's that smell she was talking about.
Yeah, and don't
Beautiful.
ChatGTP it and put it on the comments where it's from, or Wikipedia it, because I'll know if you've written word for word from Wikipedia. So please tell us where it's from.
Number 3, talking about smells, and this is a good one. This is, we had never ever smelt this till we come to New Zealand 14 years ago. I've never smelt this. It was
Macrocarpa.
yeah.
Macrocarpa used as firewood.
Yes.
Yes. So, there's a lot of wood burners in New Zealand if you're not from New Zealand. And, it's the main source of heat for the majority of houses, especially rural houses. Yeah, the cities are changing a bit now. They've got clean air and stuff like that. So, it's a winter smell.
Yeah.
Especially in the mornings and in the evenings. You just smell this macrocarpa with the cool air around and everything. And
Describe the smell.
Oh, do you know what? That's a hard one, isn't
No,
it?
it's easy. Describe it.
It smells like macrocarpa.
Describe
Just,
it.
yeah, burning. I don't know. How would you describe
Well,
it?
I just tried to describe my flowers, and
Yeah.
I got jokes.
It's a
about
very
flowers.
masculine smell.
I would say it's like a deep, earthy, woody. Obviously, it's woody, but
Yeah.
it's just that. It's like a rich real rich smell. Like, you know, like pine is quite light and like, oh, that smells nice, that pine. I'll be honest, when we first came to New Zealand, I didn't like the smell. I was like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, but the wood itself, when it's cut, smells like it, and it's very similar when it's burnt as well, isn't it? Obviously, with a bit more smokiness to it.
Do you think it's got like a cinnamony smell?
Do you know what? I can't do. You know, without we haven't got any in there. We don't burn it. We burn actually pine here, don't we?
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of Kiwis like it because it burns a little bit slower, so they can choke the fire back and smoke everybody out outside basically, and so it burns a little bit longer and warmer. Yeah.
Okay, they're right.
Yeah, I'm all right. Liz.
Yeah. I haven't thought of any words to describe the macrocarpa yet.
Stinks. Chokes me, like, you know, gets right there. It's bad from I actually use my inhaler.
No, it is. It's the most beautiful. Well, actually, I'm not going to say it's a beautiful smell. I'm going to say it's a comforting New Zealand smell. When I smell it, I know I'm in New Zealand. Yeah. And I haven't smelled that anywhere else in the world.
Where do you think macrocarpa is from?
Isn't it from New Zealand?
No.
Canada?
No.
Africa? America? I don't know.
It's from California.
Oh, is it? There you go, America. Right.
From I've Wikipedia'd this. No, I didn't actually. I got it from a sawmill.
Is that what you were doing in the toilet 2 minutes before I said we're ready to film?
I did. Yeah, it's from it's native to a little peninsula around Monterey. I think it's the Lobos Peninsula or something like that, or the Lost Peninsula, LOSS, or however it is you spell it.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and brought into New Zealand in the 1860s.
Oh.
To be built for shelter belts or as a shelter plant and plantations as well. But it's a very good wood. This table here is macrocarpa.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It doesn't smell of macrocarpa anymore unless you cut it, then you'll smell it.
Yeah.
You know? But it's very hardy. It's equivalent to treated pine outside.
Is there anything nicer though? Is there anything nicer than you're walking along at night? It's a starry night and you can smell people's wood burners. I love it.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of it reminds me of being home. It just reminds me of New Zealand, like, you know, I love it. There's something really comforting about it, isn't there?
Because if we go down to the village or kind of just literally 10k down, 5k down the road, I suppose, you know, you can smell it at night, can't you? While you're walking around, it's like, oh, you know, you're in New Zealand. Yeah.
What's the nicest flavour wood smoke do you like?
I do like pine. You know, pine is I
love fir cones.
It's kind of a clean smell.
That's pine, isn't it? Yeah. When you put those fir cones on, you see them at the side of the road, like, you know, fir cones for sale, $5 a bag, and the only thing is, you can't actually smell it when you're in the house because the wood burner's door is closed. So you have to go outside to smell it, don't you, Bri?
Yeah.
But so macrocarpa, absolutely very New Zealand, just lovely, earthy, masculine smell.
It's true.
Yeah. Right, number 4 thing that we've only come across in New Zealand. And I can't actually believe we've only come across this in New Zealand, but we have. And again, it might be one of those things that you're thinking, no, they do that in our country too. But, and I do believe it is changing, but it hasn't changed yet. And I'll tell you a little story in a minute why it hasn't changed. If you go out to eat in a restaurant or a cafe, and it's a bank holiday, like we've just had Matariki, Brian's birthday, is a public holiday now in New Zealand. Yeah. Restaurant owners and cafe owners charge you, or some of them do at least the one we went to did, 15% surcharge on your meal, on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because, and their reasoning for this is they have to pay their staff more to work because it's a public holiday. Yeah,
well, they pay them either time and a half and they have a day off. Well, they'd have to pay the day off anyway. So, do you know what? I just don't understand businesses that run on a daily basis. Like, you know, as in, you normally run on a weekly or a monthly and you think, oh, well, we've got a bank holiday. So
public
profits
holiday.
might
it's not
change.
Bank holiday here.
Well,
public holiday.
Same thing, public holiday.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bank holiday, isn't it? It's like,
do you know what? Just let me just jump in. Someone on the comments said, I can't remember who it was, but someone on the comments said, why do you keep calling it a bank holiday? Yeah. And that's because in the UK, when it's a public holiday, they call it a bank holiday. And I think, and you also asked why that is. I'm guessing it's because the banks are closed, isn't it?
Well, obviously.
Bank holiday. A holiday for the banks.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, it's not called that in New Zealand, it's called public holiday. Carry on.
So, anyway.
Banks are all open.
On a bank holiday. Yeah, but it's like, yes, you've got to pay them, you know, time and a half. Does that equate to 15%? Does it? Or is it just pick it out the air at 15%? Why isn't it 6%, 8%? Or, it's going to cost me this much more today, but no, 15%.
It's a lot, isn't it? It's an awful lot.
Yeah, but it is. It's like we went out on my birthday and unknown to me, my daughter and her partner paid for the meal. And I just said, you shouldn't have done this. I know how much. She's working in a coffee shop. He's working in a data center. And it was $70 for a bottle of wine. And then you go and add another $10 on that in a surcharge, plus the cost of the meal.
It's a lot, isn't it?
And it's just like, why?
Yeah.
It's like, if it's not profitable what you're doing, don't do it. Change the business. If you're struggling, then do something else, But don't go and lump it onto other people. It's just like a stealth tax for everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's just like, put your prices up by 0.5% or 10% or whatever it is, so to cover your costs.
Well, that is what they're doing, 15%.
Well, yeah, but throughout the year.
Yeah.
Spread it out through the year. Don't run your business on day to day.
Yeah.
It's just a way to make extra money, and it's... Yeah.
So I've got a little story where this happened to us, and I don't mind. Quite often, if something bad happens or we have bad service or whatever, we don't name the restaurant because there's nothing. We're not here to name and shame people.
Yeah, people need to make money.
Yeah, but I am going to name the restaurant simply because it was fabulous. But the restaurant, anyway. So I'll tell you the story. So for Brian's 60th, I booked us a trip down to Wellington. Like Bryce said, our daughter's down there with her boyfriend. Sonny, our son, was following along the next day with his girlfriend. But for the Friday and Saturday night, we went to the theatre on Friday night, went for a meal. Saturday, had a lovely meal. It was gorgeous, absolutely the best weekend. And on Friday, Tess had said to me, my daughter had said to me, oh, you should book a restaurant called Havana in Wellington. She said, Finn went there with his mum and dad. It was really, really good. So I booked it. Now, granted, I booked it online, so they didn't have the chance to tell me. Okay, so I booked this restaurant, table for 4 at 5 o'clock. What are you laughing at?
What you said to them, I imagine that's what you leaded to.
Well, no.
Carry on.
So we turn up. First of all, I want to say I've never seen such a pretty, beautiful restaurant in all my life.
Restaurant.
It's like this old, what is it? It's like not. I was going to say historic. It's not. It's turn of the century. Is it like a
the very sort of
something like the south of America, like one of those buildings?
The very colonial style buildings, but the sort of like very small pointy roofs. There would have been 2 houses at one time, and now they made it into a restaurant.
Yeah.
So they were just kind of small, weatherboard houses.
Painted beautiful colours,
Gorgeous,
like deep red and blue.
Very, very shabby chic sort of colours.
Yeah. It's outside, it's just divine, beautiful, and inside is just as divine and beautiful. So I'd heard about this restaurant. It's a great tapas bar, hearing all about it. So we walk in, the lady greets us, and she's like, hi, yeah, are you Liz? Yep, table, here's your table. Lovely table. Oh, we're all happy and excited because we're going to be eating at this fabulous restaurant. And we sit down and the lady offers us the menus. And then she said, just to let you know, there is a 15% surcharge tonight because it's a public holiday. And when you're like, oh no, you didn't tell me about this. I know it's an expensive, well, it's not cheap. It's not like a cheapo restaurant.
No, it's not.
It's up there, isn't it?
Bit pricey.
It's quite pricey.
I think it is, anyway.
Worth it, but pricey.
Yeah.
And when you're out for a meal with your family and you think, oh, should I say something? Because if I do now, that's going to ruin the whole night. And it was like, I was just on the tip of my tongue to say, well, I wasn't told that. And we don't want to pay. Oh, come on, let's go to McDonald's, But
if Liz told you not so much the true story, the actual, what actually happened, she's the waiter said, there's a 15% surcharge. Liz's face, went, oh my God, because she thought she said 50%,
yeah.
a 50% surcharge.
That's what I thought she said.
And Liz went, what?
Yeah, oh, did I say that, did I?
And then she repeated the 15 and then you understood.
Right,
and then
that's
the story carries on.
She had a bit of an accent. She had a very sexy accent. She's like, oh, there's 15% surcharge.
It was a Hispanic style sort of accent.
She's very beautiful and so that's true. I thought she said 50, so my face probably did hit the bloody floor because I was thinking, you are kidding me. Anyway, so we pay the 15, well, Tessa and Finlay pay the 15%, but the story is, I am so glad that I didn't kick off and start moaning and groaning and saying I'm going to be telling everyone on my YouTube channel about this. Because not only was the meal really, really lovely, it was really lovely, but at the end of the night, at the end of the meal, they brought over these 4 like tequila,
little mini margarita
shots.
Things. Like, they were nice.
And they were like, "This is for your birthday, happy birthday." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, we've forgotten about the 15%.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was sort of like, one of those times when I think, oh, thank God I didn't start kicking off and saying anything, because to be honest, we got the 15% back in 4 tequilas, I reckon. Do you?
Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, but the fact is...
They didn't have to do that.
I understand...
It was like their little softening us up a bit, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, I've employed people at bank holidays. I know what it's like, but you allow that through the rest of the year. Like, you don't have to keep hitting people. It's different if you get an emergency call out and you're like, oh, yeah, you're going to have to pay. But it's like...
We had a cafe. For those of you who don't know, we owned a cafe in Bath in England, and we built that cafe up from scratch. It was a greasy spoon in a fabulous location in the Roman city of Bath in England, right on the corner opposite the Roman baths. I mean, you couldn't have got a better location.
No.
And when we bought it, it was a student cafe, like I say, what we call a greasy spoon, that's like really like dossy and stuff. And we built it up, 5 years we stayed there, and we built it up to this. We were in the I was just thinking about our story last week on the podcast about the ham. That was before we built it up, and we built it up into something wonderful.
Yeah.
And like Bryce said, we run our cafe 7 days a week. Like, we know what it's like to employ people, and never did we charge customers. I've never heard of it, saying to customers, "Oh yeah, because I'm paying
today."
It's
just
part of the business.
That's it. You don't need to do it on a day basis.
Why should the customer have to pay for that?
Yeah, it's like you don't do your VAT or your GST and VAT every day, do you? You do it quarterly or monthly or however it is. You do it 6 monthly. It's up to you, But
I do believe that New Zealand is. I think I read somewhere that they're abolishing it. I don't know if this is true, and I don't know if I've dreamt this or imagined it or what, but I am sure someone said to me that in Australia, they surcharge on Sundays in cafes, Bri.
And that's why it's better to come to New Zealand than Australia.
Well, obviously, of course it is. But, Bri, you'd never go out, would you?
Yeah, but it's just like...
On a Sunday, you think, no, it's all right, I'll stay at home and have a scone.
Don't open. If it's going to cost you that much money, if it's exactly 15% extra, or is it just a way to make money? I don't know.
Yeah. Have I got time to tell this story? Let me see.
Probably.
Let me tell... I just want to tell you this quick story. Well, no, because this is I couldn't believe this. Talking about money in cafes and businesses and things like that. Like I said, we had this cafe and it was just getting busier and busier and busier. We were running it, we were there full time ourselves for 7 days a week. Once we started taking Sundays off, but we're mainly there 7 days a week. Anyway, it got to the point, we've been there about 3.5 years, 4 years, and we just desperately needed a break. And so I asked my mum, look, is it okay if we have a Saturday off, which was our busiest day? Do you remember?
Yep.
And this cafe, like I say, right on it's beautiful location. We put all wooden floors in. We installed fans and artwork around and painted it these really lovely colours. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And you went downstairs. So you had the main cafe on the top floor with the kitchen, and me and Bri were there always.
It was actually the ground floor, but then you went down to the basement.
Oh, yeah. And then they had steps going down to the basement. And in the basement was a toilet, our stock room and our office. And I cannot believe this looking back now. I cannot believe this, because this was only, 15 years ago?
20
years ago? Oh, really? Was it? Oh, my God, really?
23 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, only about a couple of years ago passed.
Just last week.
Only a few years have passed. But I can't believe we used to do this. But we used to leave all downstairs just open. So our stock room, with all our stock, all our beans and, all our dried goods, our pasta and our flour and biscuits and cakes and freezers with meat and everything in it was just completely open to anyone who just went down to the loo. There was never anyone down there.
Yeah, but the office wasn't open though. There was a door on
Yes, it was. And then the office had a door, and that's my point. So the office did have a door, but didn't have any lock on it.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. We put the lock on it after I'm going to tell you the story that I'm going to tell you.
Right.
Why do you always do that? When I'm telling the story, you're trying to catch me out.
I remember putting a lock on it.
Yes, you do. And I'm going to tell you why you put the lock on it in a minute. So we didn't have a lock on the door when we had this Saturday off. So you went down to the toilet, and there's the office, and there's the stock room and the toilet behind. And I cannot believe we used to do this. But whenever the till would get filled with cash, this is in the days before like cards, and no one paid by cards ever. It was all cash. And whenever the till was overflowing with cash, because we were so busy and brilliant, we would take like wads of £10 notes and £20 notes and take them downstairs and put them in the office, like in a box, not even in a safe, in a box under the table in the office.
Yeah.
And that's what we'd done. That's what we'd always done. We didn't think anything of it.
We used to bank every day. You did bank
We
every
did used
day.
to bank every day at 4 o'clock. But until 4 o'clock, the money would go downstairs and it would go in that room and it would go. I cannot believe nothing happened prior to this. But anyway, there we are having a day off on a Saturday. And I phoned up Mum and I said, everything going okay? And she's like, yep, yep. And then about half an hour later, she phoned me up and she said, Lizzie, you're not going to believe it. I'm really, really, really sorry. I said, why? What's happened? She'd taken like almost all the takings from the till, gone downstairs, put it in the box, thinking she was going to go back down in a minute and go to the bank. You know, oh no, she was going to bring it back because it was a Saturday. She couldn't bank it. That was it.
Right.
She said, someone's taken all the takings. Someone had gone down and gone to the loo and must have just
probably saw her
thought-
walk in and then thought, oh yeah.
Yeah, because there's no cameras, nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm telling you this story, but it's just like, I just couldn't believe it. But now, looking back, I can't believe that we even did that and no one robbed us before.
I know.
Can you, Brian?
Well, it's just the opportunity.
And that's when you went and put the lock on the
It's
door.
the opportunist thief, isn't it? Like, you know, they just see something and think, oh yeah.
Do you remember now, Brian?
I do remember, yeah.
So that's why you put
we put a pop-up lock on it. We installed a camera then as well.
Yeah, we did. But what a shame that you have to do that. And also, what I can't help but think, can you imagine if you were that thief and you just thought, oh, I'm going down to the loo, I'll just have a look at, I wonder what's in here. He walks in, or she walks in, whoever walks in, opens the door. Oh, there's a little table with some computer screens on there, like, you know, because you had your computer. Oh, walk over, have a look under the box. Can you imagine when you saw that box?
I know.
You'd just be like, yes, wouldn't you?
Well, you would. Well, obviously,
If you're a thief.
If you're a thief, but it's like I wouldn't say yes.
Well, if you were a thief, you
Just
would.
a weak-minded thief that can't be bothered working,
Brian, I know,
getting a proper job.
I know, but yeah, and it's not right. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, the opportunists, and then they find that opportunity.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know what you mean.
yeah.
It's just like, there's lots of little shits out there, Les.
Yeah. Anyway, so did you like that little story?
We got there.
I don't know why I was telling you that, but I suppose just
Yeah, it's because it's a cafe, that's why.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I say. You don't go the next day charge 15% to make up for your loss, do you?
yeah.
Like,
Can you
you know?
imagine that? Oh, we've had a
Or
grand
being
robbed
robbed.
off us, so you know we're just
Yeah.
going to put everything up by 10% or
Yeah.
whatever. But anyway, big shout out to Havana Restaurant. You just need to drop the 15% surcharge, but your food is absolutely fabulous. Location fabulous, service fabulous. But
It was a lovely night. It really was.
it was a really lovely night and made better by the free margaritas.
Yes.
Softened
yes.
the blow, didn't it, Brian?
They could have brought a few more of those for me.
Okay, so number 5 before we go, and we'll make this a quickie, just something that we've only ever seen in New Zealand. It really is. And that is...
Well, it's this.
Yes.
It's that clarity of light behind.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a mixed day today. It's sunny and cloudy. You know, you'll see it through you've seen it through the video as it changes, like, you know. But it's just this gorgeous light that you get in New Zealand. You know, even on a grey day, which is there's a lot of cloud out today, it's just got that clarity of light. It's mainly due to the ozone is a little bit thinner around New Zealand. I don't know why that is, like, you know, but it just happens to be. Maybe it's just because it's the bottom of the world, but it could well be that it's the top of the world. You know,
Top of the world, ma.
that's why it's a bit thin. So we need to change all the maps the other way up, maybe, you know.
It's one of those, I remember people saying, oh, the clarity of light, and I didn't really understand. I'm like, what do you mean? But until you go around the world to other countries, everywhere, I mean, you know, like England, you just wake up on an English morning and you look out and it's just beautiful. You know, you look over the fields, but it still hasn't got that sharpness, oh, it's like a light. It's like, it feels like light in your head, like, you know, just that, just...
That you can see properly.
Yeah, imagine if someone put like a curtain on your head, like, you know, like a net curtain or something. And you can still see out, but then someone takes it off and you're just like,
like
wow.
a veil.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful. And people say that if you're a photographer, then there is no better place than New Zealand to take your photographs.
Especially down in the South Island, like Lake Takapuka. I hope I've said that wrong. I said that right. But the clarity of light down there it's stunning. It's completely different than most other places. And at night, the amount of stars that you can see.
Do you reckon it's because there's not much pollution?
Well, not really, because, Australia is only, 3,000 miles away or whatever it is. I can't remember how many miles away it is.
Even in Auckland, when you go to Auckland, because it can't be that. Because
yeah, but we're an island, aren't we? So we're always going to there's a lot of wind here. So, it's going to be, we're not in a valley or anything, are we? So we do get a lot of clean ocean air.
It's just beautiful. And when you get off the plane and you just go, you look, and I'm always waiting for it not to be like it, but it always is like it.
Yeah.
And you walk down the beach in the mornings, or just in the bush. It's sharp. It's really sharp, and it's just wow. It just lights you. It's just lovely.
Is. And you notice it from the heat from the sun alone.
Yeah.
Just the heat when it hits you. In the winter, if the sun comes out, you will warm up pretty quickly. And it's just. I mean, even now my back is lovely and warm from
mine
the sun
is as well.
shining on it, But it is the clarity. You've got to come here to see it, and then you'll understand.
So, talking about coming to New Zealand, if you are new to this channel and you still haven't signed up for our free 5-day video guide that we offer, it's a video guide all about New Zealand, 5 videos that we've made, me and Brian made for you, about some aspect of life in New Zealand. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's absolutely free. And it gives you an idea of what life is like here, but things that you would never normally see on the internet. We've made it super personal. So if you would like to sign up for those free 5-day video guide, then you can go to
www.itsadrama.com/I-love-NZ.
Yeah, itsadrama.com/I-love-NZ will give you the free 5-day video guide. And then at the end of that guide, if you are interested in joining our speak, Liz, get your teeth in. Our private community of people that are made up of those who are moving to New Zealand and want to support each other, then you'll get all the details for that on there. Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed that Only in New Zealand programme. It's good, wasn't it?
It is. It's just little subtle things that are a little bit different. Or, but...
lots of you have said on the comments, we love watching this channel because we're Kiwis and it makes us realise sometimes when you have been here all your life, you don't notice these things and you kind of take them for granted, but someone coming in that hasn't seen it all the time, it's the things that you notice.
It's the equivalent to being like a tourist in your own town. People come here, they see a lot more than people who live here because they go travelling around and do all these different things, and a lot of Kiwis just go to the same place for summer or this, that and the other, and you don't see them do the same,
we were saying that about us, weren't we? We were like, we've got to make more of an effort because we just keep going. We will keep going when we do go somewhere different. It's just.
But you dive in, don't you?
Yeah,
That's
you
why.
do. Yeah,
it's like
it's like being here again for the first time.
We still haven't climbed our mountain.
No, we haven't. Can you believe that? How bad is that?
It's just coming out. The tip of it. It's just coming out in the snow at the top.
We'll do it. Yeah. We've been busy travelling the world too much.
I know.
Also, thank you so much for your support, your comments. Do you know how much you mean to us? You mean the absolute world. And I mean that. I mean the absolute world, because every week when we put out content, and you comment and like and just share and do whatever you do to support us, it means the world to me. I know I say this a lot, but every single week I am blown away just by the kindness and the support that you give us on this channel. We're so grateful.
It is.
We just love you for it.
It's
so
lovely
thank you.
Especially, we talk about comments and things. You see that comment? Oh, yeah, it was great, that one, this, that, and the other. So thanks very much.
Sitting at dinner talking about it.
Just comments. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Yeah. So until next time. Oh, and if you haven't bought my book, I've got a new book out. It's called The Travel Bog Diaries. It's all about travel in the world on a very, very little budget and all the fun things that happened with that. If you haven't bought that book, you can go to www.thetravelbog.diaries.com and you'll be able to get it there. So again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for those who have bought it and reviewed it, and just thank you so much. Okay.
And on that point, so time to say goodbye. You say your goodbyes, I always say it second.
Oh, really? You just right, okay, it's like that now,
I have to have the last word, Liz.
Okay, right. Well, I just want to say thank you, and we'll see you next time.
So kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true, and we'll see you next time too.
Okay.
Okay. See you
Bye.
now. Bye.
Wouldn't it be good if you could be a fly on the wall in someone's life in New Zealand and find out all the things that are happening to them? Like they don't know you're listening, but you're just listening in.
And we were sitting in the cafe the other day, earwigging. You know, these people, we don't know them, and they're probably thinking, she's a bit close. The lady had heard that one of her friend's sons had been on it. She said, we're gonna go down there and cut this thing down. Honest to God, you know when you're just like listening, you want to go, excuse me.
In this week's show, we're going to spill the beans on 4 things that happened to us in New Zealand this week and let you be that fly on the wall.